What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about TAR's AI today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Shout out to Truth Seeker Tree for the request on this video. Here we are with about 5 days, 22 hours left in this week. It's more like 5 days, 21 and a half hours left. 6.6 cents is the price. And Truth Seeker, you were saying that the chart looks like ASS. People are starting to say they don't like the chart. What say me based on price action, chart and volume? Time to dump it? I don't think it's time to dump it. No, I don't think so. You know, here's what I think. So a lot of people might be saying that price action looks like ASS because you have descending highs and you have a flat bottom, which is known as a descending triangle. What most people don't take the time to think about is outside of just what is in front of their face. And actually, maybe it's not even quite that. It's look at what is right in front of your face, actually, right? We've actually seen this pattern before in TAR's history. We had a flat base here and descending highs here. And look at what happened afterwards. Now, granted, on a weekly time frame, this took some time from September to December. That was months of time frame. But from the low to the high, you had an overall almost a 5x, man, 4.9x right there. So the reason why this bearish pattern, the descending triangle is what it is, which is essentially what we have here. It's not as pretty looking, but I would still call it a descending triangle. I still would. I see it. The reason why it didn't break to the downside is because here's the thing that a lot of people don't know, right? People take the time to understand what patterns look like, but they don't take the time to understand dynamics of patterns. Bearish patterns do not perform as well in bullish trends. You had a massive pump. Bearish patterns do not perform as well. They might not even perform at all. In fact, you go to oftentimes they bust in a bullish trend. Bullish patterns, same thing, oftentimes do not perform well in a bearish trend, or they bust most often in a bearish trend. Bullish patterns do best in a bullish trend. Bearish patterns do best in a bearish trend. Now, technically, with what we have here, we do have lower highs and we've got lower lows even, I suppose, right? But really, this pattern is coming after a bullish move up. I would say that the capabilities of this negative aspect to take us down is hindered, much like it was back here, right? That's my thought. So no, I don't think the price looks bad. I get where people are coming from, but there's that extra step, and you get that extra step from experience. I've been doing this for 9.5 years. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm right. That doesn't mean that the price can't break down. It can happen. I mean, sometimes you do have bullish trends that have bearish patterns and they break out to the downside too. We're talking about statistical probability here. And what I would say right now is that statistically, it's like a 60% chance that this bearish pattern breaks down. But in a bullish trend, it's more like 40% or less. Now, 40% is still a lot. There's still a chance. But we've had one time where this has happened before, and it actually ended up really well for us. We had a very low level of volume here, and then that 1 week moved up 58%. I really wouldn't be surprised. In fact, let me rephrase this. I would be very surprised if TARS broke down from here. Another thing, though, to consider is what if TARS did break down from here? What would happen? We would have this look overall of a W pattern forming. I would be backing up the truck, bro. I would be buying a lot of TARS down here. Why? Because the last time we had a 5x or a 6x, it moved up like 500%. I think that was a 6x, right? Low to high. You moved up 550% in 2 weeks. What if inevitably you still break down? You would still at least get some kind of life, like half that move up and then come back down. You know what I mean? It'd still be a tradable event. So even there's good things to be made out of that, but I don't think it's going to happen. And I think if we look at the short-term indicators, we'll probably come up with some reasoning why that won't happen. I mean, first off, looking at the weekly, this is not short-term, but weekly indicator, you're at the 40 area, an area you like to bounce at. You found support here before. It didn't bring much, but it could this time. Stochastics are in the oversold zone, but if this week can turn around and close green, you'd actually be looking like you're bouncing out of it. The MACD, I'm not getting much off the MACD, but it's a new chart. There's not a whole lot really to go off of with that. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame and then we'll zoom out from there, okay? So 1 hour time frame, if it loads. Load you want to. Okay, 1 hour time frame actually does have bullish divergence. It actually does. And we are rejecting the oversold zone, but not going lower. That's kind of nice. You're trying to go lower, but really you have this double bottom and no volume came through. That's kind of nice. Actually, it makes me think that you want to move up from here. Stochastics have bullish divergence. The MACD is, who cares? But again, you're moving neutral, so it's on the 1 hour time frame, so it's less significant. 4 hour time frame, taking another look at this from a different perspective. Look at that. Talking about double bottoms. That's actually a really good look right there. This is right at the area. Think about it like this. You had a lot of volume last time come in to push you down. Here's your volume, and where'd you go? You didn't go anywhere. You found support at the same area. There's no interest in selling this thing, which means what? There's only interest in buying it, right? Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. There's either not enough sellers to push the price down, or there's too many buyers and they're not allowing the price to go down. One way or the other, right? It's bullish either way. I was going to take a fib to measure where we are, but it's not really, there's really no point in doing that. I guess I could take this one here real quick from a low to a high and just see. Right there at the 1618, beautiful. You got a double bottom, kind of a triple bottom overall, but a double bottom relatively speaking at that golden ratio extension. Beautiful. Actually, it's pretty beautiful. Everything about this so far, I really like. You're actually at a really good place. If I could surmise this video with one word, it would be buy. I think that that's B-U-Y. Not B-I, not B-Y-E, not B-Y. It's B-U-Y, buy. I think that it looks good for a buy. Looking at the daily time frame. That's a pretty bearish candle. I'll give it to you. That's a pretty damn bearish candle. There ain't no volume backing it up. And we're on Bybit, the largest exchange for TARs. You know, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I don't know the future. Nobody does. But what I do know, once it loads, and it'll show us once it loads. I'm gonna keep you on the thread here. I'm trying to think of something that might be a fun fact. Most of you probably know this because this is like basic elementary school stuff, but did you know, if you're looking out in the night sky whenever it's dusk, the very first star in the sky that you see, do you know what that is? It's actually not a star at all. It's a planet, and it's one of the closer planets to us. Yeah, it's actually the closest planet to us. Or is Mars closer? Venus. It's Venus. The first star in the sky that you see is Venus. It's supposed to be a thing while this loaded, but what I was trying to say, the thing that was keeping you guys on the thread for before I got you distracted with that fun fact, is that, so yeah, if you ever want to know where Venus is, just look out before any stars come out. The very first star, the very brightest star that comes out in the very beginning, that's Venus. Yeah, that is what that is. It's so bright because it's so close and because it's gaseous. Anyways, I guess the atmosphere is gaseous. Anyways, TARS is not on Binance or Coinbase. It's not on Binance or Coinbase. It's not on either of those exchanges, the two largest exchanges in crypto. You know what? It's not even on Kraken, which is also a very large exchange in crypto as well. If I was an exchange, again, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, this is where I got all distracted on. This is the exact area that I'd want to buy. I might even have a buy wall down at this area. And I probably have been buying for months. I'm just saying. Right? You don't hear about an exchange listing down here. You hear about it after the price has exploded. But they've been buying before they list it, right? I'm just saying. I'm not saying that they have to be buying here. I'm not saying they have to list it. I'm just saying TARS is a pretty popular crypto. I feel like it's not the most popular crypto. It's a low cap coin, and for a low cap coin, you know, anybody hunting for gems, you've probably heard of this coin. I'm sure the exchanges have too. And this is an area where you might accumulate, is all I'm trying to say. Okay, looking at this on a daily time frame, yeah, I don't like the MACD, but who cares? You're moving sideways. It's really, MACD is not going to help you. Stochastics, yeah, they're lackluster. The RSI is lackluster too. You've got downtrends, but you got bullish divergence, and you're in areas where you'd expect to bounce. I mean, it's not the end of the world. The shorter term stuff does look good. I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think that you're in a bad thing. I would buy here. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I know that it's been a real, I don't know what word to use, a real disappointment being back at these levels, but just remember, you know, back whenever we were at 14 cents, there are a lot of people who wished that they bought here. There were a lot of people who felt proud of themselves for buying here. This is your third chance to do it. And it's a higher low. You got a low here, a higher low here. You know, really it does look like accumulation is going on. And even if we go lower, if we went down to like 6.2 cents, 6.16 cents, it's still a higher low. It's still accumulation. I'm not worried about the price at all. I think there's good things, more good things than bad things going on. And even if we do the terrible thing, I think we will have a chance at redemption. We will have an Adam and Eve setup, and that redemption will do one of two things. Either it takes us back to this level, and you can sell for a partial gain or a neutral whatever, or maybe a loss if you bought up here. But if, again, I would encourage that you buy down there, just to mitigate that risk a little bit, bring down your dollar cost average. Or even if it went down there, that's a really good setup, because then you've got this W pattern overall, and that should take you to there, all the way up to these new relative highs. Should being the keyword. But I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think you're going to get that chance to go down. Crypto's too damn bullish right now, you guys. I got nothing else for you. I hope I made sense out of this video. Hit the like button, subscribe. Anybody who's saying that the price action looks bad, I get where it's coming from. They're not unintelligent, but they're leaving out pieces, and they're looking for what is obvious and in front of them. They're not really taking it a step further to think about it, right? And that's the kind of stuff that either sometimes even experienced people make mistakes. You just kind of see what you're looking for and you run with it, or most of the time it's people who are just new and they don't have experience, so they jump on it like, oh, I know what this is. This means we're going down, but look at it a little bit more. Think about it a little bit more. It actually makes sense that this is a perfect area to buy. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Okay, take care. Bye bye.